Hey guys, welcome back to the Lived and Told podcast. Today I got here the self-proclaimed dishwasher of Flexing Physio, Adrian.
Yes, sir.
Adrian, how are you?
Yeah, good man. How are you, Matty?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
That's
I think I'll
cool.
just dive right into it, man.
Yeah.
What makes a young man from Rockhampton drive, 83,000 kilometers, or 83,000 kilometers over nearly 24 hours to Melbourne
Great question.
to work with the Flexing Physio?
Flexing Physio. Look, I think so. I grew up in Rockhampton, a place in Queensland. For those who don't know, smallish regional town compared to Melbourne.
I think about 83,000 people.
That's correct. The notes are correct, brother. And what motivated me or bring me here was, I guess, I wanted a change.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing was change.
Yeah.
And I followed Dan's content for back when I was a student in 2021.
Yeah.
And so I've loved this content since. And I was like, this would be a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And I applied, not thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
And essentially what happened was he emailed me back. And that's when I first was like, oh, okay, this might actually happen.
Yeah.
And then it ended up happening. So it was a very spontaneous decision, but the biggest drivers were change. And
Yeah.
I wanted a bit of a change and I wanted new experiences.
And were you already practicing in Rockhampton or?
Yeah, so I worked my first 6 months of physiotherapy in Rocky.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And how was that? How did you get into physio?
Okay, yeah, of course, bro. So, yeah, working in Rocky was great-ish. And how did I get into physio? So, long story short, I applied for medicine.
Yeah.
Initially.
To be like a fully fledged GP doctor kind of thing.
Yeah, bro. I want to be an ortho.
A what?
An ortho surgeon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
That was the dream. Maybe it still is. Who knows? But I initially applied for that. And I got an interview at a university called JCU because I didn't get a high enough ATAR to do the other ones. And I didn't get in. So I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And at the time, I really liked gym. I was really into the gym.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what do I do?
And was that to help you for a certain sport or just physique-wise or?
Physique. Mostly hypertrophy. I just really like lifting weights and feeling cool.
Yeah, okay.
Feeling like a gorilla, essentially. But yeah, and I didn't get in. I was like, oh man, what do I do? I've got no idea. And I just clicked physio. I had never seen a physio prior to clicking that.
Probably a good thing, I guess, in a way.
In a way. But yeah, actually, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
50-50.
So was it at a career expo kind of thing, or did you speak to people that had already done or were already studying physiology, and then you go oh, cool, that's something that I might want to pursue, and if my first preference of wasn't going to be the way that I was meant to go down, really the path that you weren't going to go down.
To be honest, man, I had no experience with any physio whatsoever. So
Yeah.
I had the closest thing I had was an occupational therapist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Work experience back in grade 10.
Yeah.
And I hated it. Oh, no, I didn't hate it. I love the person, but I just didn't. It was a pediatrics course, and I loved the kids, but I just wasn't interested in what they were talking about or what they were saying.
Okay.
And I was like, man. And I only clicked OT because I had no idea what else to click.
Yeah.
So I clicked that because I thought someone else did it.
Yeah.
But the story's all over the place. But long story short, man, it was literally on a whim choice based on current interests at the time.
Yeah.
And also one of my friends was doing it.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, okay.
And I was like, oh, cool. Physio might be a good thing for me because people who do physio go into medicine. That was my initial thought process.
And sometimes it makes it a bit easier when someone else is doing it along with you, right?
Bro,
absolutely. They're on the journey with you.
Yes, sir. Homie.
So you've been here at Flexing Physio now for 6 months, I want to say?
4 months, bro.
4 months.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's been, 3 things that you've learned?
Things?
That you learned about yourself since coming.
Oh, about myself?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, absolutely. So does this have to be moving to Melbourne or Flexing Physio?
Oh, let's do Flexing Physio first, then we can dive off into
So clinically, what have I learned?
Yeah, or even about yourself as I guess a practitioner, and to a certain degree, it is running the business with Dan. I think everyone watching this podcast can see you guys, making content together.
Yeah,
obviously with Lisa the Meyer as well, who works with you guys as well. So
she's pretty cool. Hey,
my editor for those who don't know, but what have you learned, I guess, about yourself in terms of the industry, yourself as a physio, and I guess maybe the business as well, running that and
So for those, I'm a new grad physiotherapist, so I already put a lot of pressure on myself. So one thing I learned from a clinical perspective is just embrace. I was not embracing the new grad lifestyle. I was like, man, I don't know anything, and I want to know everything.
Yeah.
And it just created this constant cycle of beating myself up and then just feeling bad for myself when I didn't know something, and then that correlating to how I treat my patients.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing I learned was from a clinical, seeing patients' point of view as a practitioner, to slow down.
Yep.
It's okay not to know anything.
Yeah.
And you can only do what you know at the time, and you don't know what you don't know until you know.
And how did you learn that? Was it just through like speaking with Dan or like speaking with other practitioners, or was it just more like a self-discovery thing where you're like, hey, I need to actually like slow down and, like you said, not know all the answers?
It was probably a mix of all three.
Yeah, okay.
I probably was really annoying at the start with Dan, trying to talk to him through this.
Yeah.
And talking to other practitioners as well. I've done a couple of meetups with physios around Melbourne, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And also probably the biggest was through self-reflection and talking to another mentor of mine who's back in Rocky still.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a driver of all three, maybe an even split, maybe closer more towards the self-reflection point.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how's it being in front of the camera? Probably more than you've probably ever been in your life.
Oh, dude. To be honest, it was a weird transition at the start. And I was like, man, Dan's got 1 million trillion followers compared to me. And, you as a human being, you do a lot of comparing, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So the initial sort of first videos, I was like, oh, I'm quite just not anxious, but just quite nervous seeing myself on camera, talking to people.
Yep.
And presenting myself online. But now it's pretty good. I'm okay.
I imagine, like, since I've started this podcast, the hard part, well, for me personally, isn't actually the recording of it. It's probably watching it back or listening to it back and like hearing your own voice, seeing how you move. That's probably the harder part, in my opinion, anyway, with this content creation or just creating videos and stuff like that. Really,
I think the biggest thing is I think the biggest self-critic you can have is yourself. Yeah, and that's something I found. So yeah, I totally agree, man.
Yeah,
I think it's just you got to do it. One of the biggest things is I watch back on all my initial videos before uploading. I'm like, should I post this? And I just click the post button and just do it.
just throw your phone away.
I throw my phone across like 3 meters across the room, sort of thing. But look, it's good. Just take that risk.
What's been your favorite
video?
Yeah. Or is it to be released? I should say, because I know that people that make content, people that make content do they just make it as they go along. They kind of stockpile it. But yeah, what's been the favorite video so far?
I really liked the initial video we did that blew up, where it was Dan was walking into the clinic, presenting the clinic and physiotherapy as like real estate agents. Oh, so I was like, welcome to the Flexing Physio clinic. Blah 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 blah, and that's sort of where we blew up. I blew up a little bit, and people started to notice I was working at the clinic.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is social media exposure. But that's probably my favorite video because it started my perception of my own social media.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think diving back into it, obviously, some people may, I don't want to say some. I think majority of people don't always move from the city that they grew up in. You've moved, across states. You've moved from, respectfully, a regional town or regional city, I should say, to a big metropolitan city. Like, absolutely. You said you want to change. Like, did that come from somewhere in particular? Were you just tired of just seeing familiar things, familiar faces, or did you see Melbourne and be like, oh, cool, I want to go experience the coffee culture, the food, the sports culture as well? Like, what ultimately drove that besides just I want to change, or what's the deeper levels to the change?
I can go as deep as you want. How deep can we go?
Let's go like an onion. Let's go layer by layer. Let's go layer by layer.
From a wanting change perspective, absolutely. I've been in Rocky, or I was in Rocky for around between 15 and 17 years. I don't have an exact number.
Oh, so you weren't born there?
No, I wasn't born there.
Oh, where
I
were
was
you
actually born in the United Kingdom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I spent my first 7 years in a place called Stoke-on-Trent.
I don't know. I don't even know where that is.
That's about 4 hours-ish from London.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then I ended up moving to Sydney first.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, 1.5 years there. I don't remember it at all, but.
Yeah, okay. And okay, beautiful. Yeah. And then moved up to Rockhampton, obviously.
Yes, sir. Rocky. Shout out to the Rocky people. Shout out to Jess McGrath. She's a physio who also moved from Rocky.
Oh wow, okay.
And she now
Melbourne.
lives in Melbourne.
Oh, do you guys catch up?
We're planning to catch up in the new year,
All right,
actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So where were we? I've forgotten.
You weren't originally from Rockhampton. You moved from Sydney to Rockhampton, and then you moved to Melbourne.
Oh yes, and then why? What are the underlying layers of the onion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did want change. I think the biggest thing is, I don't know, being young and wanting that. I like pursuing growth in aspects where I can, right? And I like the idea of always improving. Initially, I thought, if I move, I'm going to improve. Yep. It's not like that. Yep. It's not like that for anyone thinking about moving. It all comes from within.
Yep.
But that was the first initial step. I had a bit of exposure in Melbourne as well.
Okay, really?
So one of my closest mates got married in Geelong. He's from Melbourne as well.
Yep.
And he came to study physiotherapy in Queensland with me.
Yeah, okay.
So I went there, and I also had an ex-partner who lives in Melbourne as well.
Yeah, okay.
So I had a bit of exposure in Melbourne. I was like, this is kind of sick. Like, people here are a bit more contemporary. That's kind of nice. And there's a city life, and I've experienced that to some extent. So it's not a first exposure thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Biggest thing I think was wanting change and wanting growth.
So it's almost like you mentally want to change, but also I think physically that kind of comes hand in hand. That you kind of push that along maybe a bit further than if you just stayed in Rockhampton and said, I want to change mentally, but then physically maybe that also helps us with the process as well.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I think it was more of a catalyst than anything because
yeah. What's been your 3 things that you enjoyed about Melbourne?
Number 1, meeting Lisa and Dan. That was awesome. and Maddie H. 2, being able to go to all these cool places, or like Chadstone. That's a cool mall.
Chadstone, yeah.
Just being able to drive around in these areas where stuff wasn't readily available.
Yeah, okay.
Just having stuff available is probably my second. And then the third is all these festivals and concerts that are close by. I haven't gone to any, but I'm like, wow, these things weren't something that I experienced in Rocky as much.
You have to go to Brisbane, I guess.
Go to Brisbane to do that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mary Carey.
And what's the things you've hated about Melbourne?
So one is the weather. Probably number 1 is the bipolar weather.
Yeah.
It just constantly changes, which is fine. Nah, it's not fine.
I think it's the main complaint of most people about Melbourne.
Melbourne, the weather.
Yeah.
Number 2, I find that a lot of people are a bit colder when you come to approach them. They're not as approachable when you want to talk to them in public.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of people who are more to themselves, but that just might be the area I'm in, or the concentration of people.
There's
so many people.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that I've hated about Melbourne, probably the drivers.
Yeah.
Not hate's a strong word, but I just don't. I'm not a fan of the driving situation here. Yeah.
Fair. And
scary on the road. I've never been more defensive as a driver.
Would you say you're a good driver?
I'd say honestly decent driver. Not the best, but enough to
safe enough, right?
Safe enough to not actually hit anyone.
Follow the rules.
Head check when I lane change 3 seconds with the light on. So that's.
How was doing hook turns while?
Oh man, only done one in my life.
Okay.
I was so nonchalant.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
then I shut my pants up. I was like, yes.
Hey, you
fake it till you make it, bro.
Look, you survived to tell the tale.
Yes.
So if you speak to yourself or a graduate and they're thinking, hey, I'm thinking about moving states to pursue physio, like what would you say to them? What would be your?
I would tell them, make sure you know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Don't just do it because you're expecting something to change. My biggest thing is move because you want an opportunity, but don't move and expect that everything's going to get better, because it's probably going to be a lot harder at the start.
Yep.
Before it gets better.
Yep. So I think it's more have a plan of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, plan it, but also expect to be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is that how you found it at times?
Absolutely,
uncomfortable a bit.
Absolutely. I think initially I was like, oh my god, Melbourne, the dopamine. I'm in Melbourne. I moved place, and now I'm like, okay, this is actually like I've got to deal with real life. I've got to be an adult. And there's all these things happening to me, and I'm so uncomfortable. But this is exactly what I asked for: growth, and that's growth. Unfortunately, feels probably more uncomfortable than it does comfortable.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's what you wanted in the initial move, right? So
absolutely, bro. So I'm blessed.
It's definitely helped you grow.
Not
for sure.
Complaining.
And you would have been here for 4 months, but I'm asked a more long term, I guess, question. Like, 3 years, 5 years.
Oh, bro, absolutely.
Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself in Melbourne? Do you see yourself flexing physio? Those are probably questions that come to mind. But
Mm-mm.
if you thought that far ahead, or now you're thinking about 1
A
year,
little bit. I
one
think
one year
I've
time?
had brief thoughts about it. Like I really enjoy working with Dan and Lisa, and Dan as my boss. So, and I'd really love to grow alongside the clinic.
Yep.
So it's only been about 2 years it's open. Like I'd love to stick through it. I'm a big guy and I'm a big committer.
Loyalty.
Loyalty,
Loyalty.
man. And I believe those loyalty and working towards something, especially with someone who's also growing.
Yeah.
Just brings something magical. So yeah, 3 years, 5 years, probably longer than at least a year.
Still here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Still
No,
here.
not awesome. Do you see the team growing? Obviously, Dan has a play in that too. But from your own perspective, do you see the team growing? Either directly under Dan or as part of the Flexing Physio here, or where do you see that?
I definitely like Lisa's a bit of a rare gem in that she wanted to integrate with the community.
Yep.
She wanted to know me and Dan a bit better, and we've become quite close in a work sense.
Yep.
Do I see the team growing? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be like 28 people, but it'll be a nice
multiple locations.
Oh, maybe one day, but
Yeah.
more so in the shorter 3 to 5 year period. I hope we get another physiotherapist on board.
Yeah, okay.
A receptionist, and even just a small knit team of
Yeah.
other allied health professions too.
Yeah. There's plenty of rooms here, so
Yes,
hopefully,
sir.
hopefully they jump on board.
Come join once we get busy.
Yeah, and if he's, I guess, probably circling back to it, have you seen your own change in the way you treat your clients and those that come through to see yourself and or Dan, like through your own personal growth? Like, I think you mentioned it briefly, you've been okay with accepting that you're not sure all the answers all the time, but have you seen any other attitude shifts in yourself, or
Oh, absolutely, bro. I think one of the biggest things, and one thing I reflect on learning from Dan even prior to working here, was that trust is gained in drops but lost in buckets. So how I approach patients now, and that's how I approach patients in Rocky, but to be honest, back when I was in a big company, I didn't care as much.
Okay.
So essentially, I treat patients with a lot more. I give them more time to talk. I let the person open up to me. I'm not treating a right knee, right? I'm treating the person in front of me.
Yep.
And sometimes that might mean not doing anything for their knee in the first session.
Yep.
Trying to get to know the person and trying to build. The biggest thing I think that's changed is prioritizing rapport over anything else.
Yep.
So that ability to connect with the patient.
Yep.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest change.
Yeah. Okay. And if you've seen people like, I don't know what the right word is, rebook with yourself, or in a weird way, because you're more holistic approach, have they felt better a lot sooner? Has that been what you've seen from that change?
About actually, I've had a lot of really good positive outcomes recently. So
awesome.
And people do come in and rebook, and they actually
show up.
Whereas in Rocky, I'd have people just not show up.
Oh really? They book in and
just few. Mostly like there's a thing called a care plan.
Yeah.
You get 5 free sessions for allied health every year.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones that I saw in Rocky didn't come in because I never touched them. I didn't do any hands-on.
Yeah.
I only did exercise, and a lot of them didn't like that. So that's probably one other thing that I changed. A lot more manual therapy, a lot more hands-on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me something I wouldn't know about working in a startup business. Like you said, it's 2 years. Maybe not the true sense of a startup, but still quite young in its infancy. Yeah. Tell me something that I wouldn't know that would go behind the scenes. Or maybe the people watching and listening, they wouldn't know it goes behind the scenes of,
That's a great question. One thing you wouldn't know. I guess everyone. What do you know, Maddie?
Pardon?
What do you know
about running a physio business?
Or just a startup business?
I think the fundamentals of knowing who your target audience or your target population is key. What's your business plan? What's your? I'm sure you guys, when I say that, you and Dan, have a we spoke about it before, 3-5 year plan of what the business looks like. Is the backend infrastructure set up? All your tax or your accounting stuff, is that all set up? So I think very loosely, that's why I think needs to go into a business. I don't run one myself personally, so I can't can't comment on that, but that's what I think goes into it.
One thing that sort of comes to mind and I reflect on as well is there's a lot of back work. There's a lot of back end work.
Yeah.
Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends how you see it. As a business, you need clientele, and you need points of referrals.
Yep.
You need points where you actually get your patients.
Yeah.
So there's so much back work that goes into, especially an allied health or a private practice business,
Yep.
where you're trying to make connections with, and this might be common knowledge to some people, but you need to be able to create connections with doctors. You
Yep.
need to be able to create connections with workplaces for work cover,
Yep.
for orthopedic surgeons and surgery, general surgeries,
Yep.
patients or doctors. There's so much back end work that you need to do
Yep.
outside of work as a startup business. It's
Yeah.
not just seeing a patient and treating them and
Yep.
going home. It's seeing a patient, treating them, going home, or during that time where you have time, going out and finding a referral stream, talking to that person, talking to these doctors, and actually trying to build a connection or a network.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest takeaway.
I think when you mentioned that, I think it's probably one of the big things I missed about a startup business is the marketing /
the
advertising of it. And then
getting yourself out there.
it is through like very simple means, like, you go out to a clinic, you go out to a gym, you would go into like a newsletter of like business. Is it as simple as that, or is it more deeper than that?
I think on paper it's as simple as that, but you got to remember that, and for anyone who doesn't really think about it, there's so many other businesses doing the same thing.
Yep.
So you need to be able to separate yourself, and that's probably the biggest divider of how you're going to get patients. If a place has got a physio they've been working with for 12 years, good luck.
Yeah. Try to break into that. I think someone the other day actually asked me, like, what makes your podcast different to others?
Yeah.
It was a good question that I reflected on, like, in the moment and even afterwards, but when I went home that day, like, so same question to you, what makes Flexing Physio different to any other physio out there?
I think the biggest superpower that, and I'm not one to hype myself up, but I'm about to hype ourselves up.
You should.
So for Dan and I think we have this special ability to connect with the person.
Yep.
And I think that separates us, because I hear so many stories, and I had recent patients come in and they're like, I just feel so much more comfortable in this environment.
Yeah.
I feel like I can talk to you. You've explained more than the other physios, not to discredit the other physios, but you've explained so much more to me than the previous physio did in 5 months. And I'm like, okay, well, this just sort of puts into perspective that we prioritize the person, not the injury.
Yep.
And I know it's so hard with time constraints in these businesses, and money is important and income is important for us at the end of the day. But one thing I can say with confidence that sets us apart is that we truly prioritize the person.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's probably differentiates. I was just a loose thought I had in my mind was like, why can't I just go into like, AI, ChatGPT? Hey, I have lower back pain, for example. Why can't I just do that as opposed to seeing you? But I think your answer, you're treating a person as a whole, as opposed to just these are just a list of symptoms that I have, and then AI, ChatGPT would then spit up at me. This is what
and so much misinformation
you could do based on data out there. Yeah.
I think we like to stay as evidence-based as possible.
That's probably a good segue there. So how do you guys, there's always so much knowledge, there's always so much things coming out, or how do you keep up to date with all the latest?
Oh man, it's constant research.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, I've lost my drive to read research. When I first started, I was like reading different types of medical research every day. I was like, oh my God.
Every day.
Not every day. Every second day.
Every second day, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, the ankle, shoulder pain, Jeremy Lewis's work and Jared Powell's work on subacromial bursitis and subacromial decompression for orthopedic surgeons and how it's not. Anyways, I was reading all that stuff, and how do I stay in touch is usually sometimes I'll read a research paper.
Yeah.
But it's following the people that I respect. And I think Dan's the same, where there's a guy who, for example, is really good with stress fractures. His name's Bo Terrell, I think is how you say his last name.
Yep.
He's regarded as a stress fracture physio.
Oh, wow.
And we get a lot of information from him. We read the papers and we sort of break down and make our own opinions as well. Jared Powell, for anyone in the physiotherapy realm, big shoulder guy, also shares recent papers debunking and disproving, but also proving other things.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is media, but you also got to be careful with that, because there's a lot of misinformation or information that isn't probably as true. But unfortunately, we're in a realm where you can present something, and if it looks cool and right, people are going to believe it.
So how is someone like me, for example, doesn't have a medical or physio background, and I want to research stuff about the ankle?
Yep.
How would I know where to start? How do I know what resources to trust, like you said, when there is so much misinformation out there?
Like if I wasn't in the situation I was in, I would try to find someone who is sourceable, or accredited. For example, on Instagram, you'll know someone's accredited when they have a lot of respect.
Or they have the blue tick.
The blue tick. Yeah,
joking.
There's a guy named
joking.
Adam Meekins. Yeah, absolutely. He's got a lot of respect, a lot of hate too, because he's very conflicting. But I would, if you didn't know much about the ankle, you could start with Google, and then I think, unfortunately, you're probably going to run into misinformation, and you're probably going to believe it for a bit.
Yeah.
And I think for the average person, they need to be disproving what they know.
Yeah.
The best way to prove something, in my opinion, in terms of doing your own research, is to disprove it. Try to keep disproving it. If you can't, it's probably true.
Okay.
If you keep finding things that support it, and you just don't want to be in an echo chamber, it's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
But trying to find someone within the industry who's well respected, but it's not the case all the time.
Yeah. I think it's just through trial and error. I think
trial and error.
Yeah.
Talking to different sources, maybe going to a physio and an osteo, and unfortunately, there's a lot of, we all say different things to some extent, but I think really good practitioners are very similar.
Yeah. That awesome. Thanks, Adrian.
That's all good, bro.
I think that's it for the episode.
Let's go.
However, I will end with I don't have a closing tradition on this episode or this podcast just yet. So
that's right, man.
We'll do some rapid fire questions.
Yes, sir.
To get to know you a bit more. So
Yes, sir.
If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Anyone?
Dead or alive. Yeah.
Dead or alive? That's hard. That's not a rapid fire. Shit, man. I'd like to have dinner with Robert Irwin.
Robert Irwin?
Yeah. I think he seems like
One Dancing with the Stars recently?
Yeah, I haven't watched it. He seems like a really cool guy. He's so wholesome. I want to see if he's actually wholesome.
Yep.
I'd have dinner with my best mate,
Aww.
Abraham Jones.
Shout out to Abraham.
Shout out to Abe. And then I'd have dinner... If I say parents, does that count as one?
No. Or you pick one parent.
Shit. Oh, this is going to cause conflict. All right, I won't say my parents for the sake of it. I'll say Abraham, Robert Irwin. Let's go. Someone really cool. I'd love to have dinner with maybe like C-Bum or something.
Chris Bumstead?
Yeah, just, I don't know.
That's sick.
So you grow up watching him and you're just like, you're sick to just talk to this person.
If you were doing physio, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be bouncing job to job, to be honest.
Doing what?
Maybe retail.
Okay.
I used to work at Specsavers. I'd probably hop to somewhere else.
Yeah. Still somehow healthcare related.
Yeah, I think in all the roles, most of the roles I've worked, it's always had to do with talking and connecting with people or having to deal with people.
That communication, yeah.
So that's probably one of my strongest suits.
Favorite dish or your last meal that you would have?
Ooh, chicken palmy.
Chicken palmy? Wouldn't it be anything...
chicken palmy.
Chicken palmy?
Yeah.
It's palmy? Is it palmy or palmer?
Palmy.
Oh, really? Okay.
You guys got it wrong here.
Nah, disagree on that one. Disagree.
Agree to disagree.
Disagree on that one. Last one. Favorite holiday destination?
Oh, probably Japan. Is that basic?
No. Top 3 probably nowadays, but
probably Hakuba with the boys on the snowboard.
You been snowboarding there?
Yeah.
Any good?
Oh, so good. Take me back.
I've never been snowboarding or to
we
the snow.
We should go.
I've never gone to the snow ever.
We should go when it's winter again. If you're down.
It feels like winter now.
Oh, dude, pretty much winter. Yesterday wasn't.
No, it's still 38. Jesus.
38 degrees.
Yeah. Awesome.
Beautiful.
No, thanks, Adrian.
Thank you
for hopping on. So, for those listening and watching, where can they get in contact with you about, all things physio related?
Go to @liftcedo.physio Instagram or Flexing Physio Clinic or Uncle Dan. We'll be here.
Done. Awesome. We should have episode 2, but thanks everyone for listening, watching. Please subscribe, share, like, give us high ratings, and see you on the next episode.
See you guys. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
No worries. I
one
appreciate it.
one take. That's pretty good.